Hello, everybody. Welcome. So today is going to be a discussion with Alana, Estelle. We're going to be...
Sorry. I have the attention span of a squirrel. I'm sorry. All right, I'm here.
We're going to be discussing hate comments today. So thanks so much for joining us. Welcome, Jess. Hi, Penny.
Ah, Penny. Hey.
Welcome. So I think maybe for our first topic of the day, I kind of would like to discuss how we would define a hate comment.
That's a good question.
Yeah. How would you define it, Alana?
There's a big distinction between constructive criticism and hate/negative comments. I do think that we live, because I think the reason why we have to draw this distinction is because we now live in a culture that's hypersensitive, where people take honest, well thought out, constructive criticism that means well as hate. And that's not what hate is. Hate, I'll say /negative comments, are those comments that are just unnecessary. They are attacking you personally. They are condescending often. They can be patronizing. They're just rude. You should have the discernment, I think, as a creator, to know the difference between that constructive criticism. Because I get excellent comments that help me to view things from a different perspective versus someone who's just flat out nasty.
Yeah.
How would you?
I think, yeah, well, I just want to comment. This is what made me really want to discuss it with you, Alana, this particular topic. This is one of the reasons, is because you're not super sensitive to criticism.
No, not at all. I'm not sensitive at all.
Right. Yeah, and your reviews kind of show that. You really discuss things like analytically. And if somebody offers a new perspective, that's not going to offend you. You're going to be like, oh, cool, a new perspective on this book that I've just been talking about.
Right. Yeah, I'm not easily offended. And do you mind if I kind of detour and then bring something back real quick?
Absolutely.
I do think that you have to be able to take constructive criticism on public platforms. You know, a lot of people say it comes with the internet. If you're going to be publicly on the internet sharing opinions in any sphere, but in this particular point we're talking about books, you have to be able to take some heat. It's just this fine line between, yes, it's a public platform. I'm a big advocate of freedom of speech. I know you are too, Christy, but there is this fine line. So yes, going online, I think you do have to take constructive criticism and know that you're potentially going to have people say things to you that are untoward. Mm-hmm. It's just, there is a fine line. And so, yes, it's a free platform. You're putting content out there for free. It's freedom of speech, but when is it inappropriate? And when do we as creators say, yeah, I'm putting myself out here, but this is where this has crossed a line? Just because it's a free platform and it's freedom of speech doesn't mean you get to have your cake and eat it too as a commenter.
Yeah.
You can, but why?
Mm-hmm. That's it. So you brought it back around to the commenter. I love that.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of responsibility for a creator. I mean, I feel like...
Sorry, my calf just cramped. Sorry, I made a face. Whew, okay.
You're fine. Yeah, I feel like kind of what you said, you have to have a pretty thick skin as a creator.
Yeah, you have to. I always remind myself, like I knew eventually when I started my YouTube channel last year that I was going to eventually start getting some dodgy comments. Mm-hmm. And the dodgy comments didn't come around until I posted my very critical review of Sally Rooney's Conversations with Friends. And also the bigger your platform gets, the more the algorithm is boosting you, you're going to get pushed to a wider group of people. So it's going to start bringing in more people. And I knew it was going to happen eventually. And one of my mottos, and I get this from my mother, is if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. I do not think that the internet is for sensitive people. I really don't. If you can't handle it, or you don't know how to compartmentalize, you do have to wonder if that's how you want to put yourself out there or not. But I do think commenters have a responsibility. I have never left a negative comment on anybody's content, ever. If I don't like the content, I don't even announce it. You have those people say, I've never had this happen to me. Someone say, I'm unsubscribing. There's the door. It's free. Bye. But I've never left a negative comment, because did we forget when we were taught as children, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. How do you feel, Chrissy?
Oh, no, I love all this. This is great. Let me just say hi to the commenters here. Hello, Jillian. Welcome. So glad you're here. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Katie. I didn't click to the comments. I was stuck in private chat while I wasn't seeing anything.
I know that sometimes I'll accidentally put hi everyone in the private chat, and
people aren't entitled to my attention. Matt, mic drop. Who's on that? I love when people say, "Hey, y'all." Such a
Hi, Paul. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for leaving some thoughts. Yeah, I would love to hear anybody's definition of hey comments. Okay. Now I'm trying to remember what was the last thing we were just talking about. I interrupted the flow.
We were talking about how I think commenters do have a responsibility about what they post.
Yes, because honestly, if you are leaving a really long comment that, maybe, or even a really short comment that's just super negative and disagreeing, you have to realize that you might not have a relationship with the person whose video you're commenting on. So probably your words aren't going to affect them in a positive way, like to create change. It can be, I think, beneficial maybe for commenters. And it can be beneficial for a creator too, to hear other perspectives. But if you're being overly critical, your presentation really matters, I guess. And also your relationship to the person really matters.
That's a good point. I don't know what have you noticed this? When I've gotten negative comments, it's usually from a one and done person. By that, I mean, they're not a person who I have noticed has stayed with the channel, or they constantly comment. You get to know people a little bit through the comments, and you see people, repeat commenters. You know that they're actively watching your content. But it could be, especially with books, when you post book reviews, people are often just searching for reviews for that particular book. There may not be subscribers, they're just trying to listen to your point of view and then move on. That's typically when I get those negative comments. They're just a one and done. They haven't actually invested in the content. They haven't reviewed a lot of my stuff to get a sample of who I am as a person. You know what I mean? Which is why, personally, for me, I don't subscribe to a creator unless I've watched multiple of their videos to see, is this creator a fit for me? And you see what I mean? And Jess has a really good comment. She said, I think the comment says more about the writer than the content they left on it. And I agree. Yeah, you reveal a lot about yourself based on how you comment and engage with somebody's content.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Because no matter how nice you are, no matter how correct you are, if you're on the interwebs, you're going to get comments that are really insulting you as a person.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like you mentioned something important here. You mentioned reviews. Reviews seem to be the thing that they capture the attention. So I feel like on Booktube, there's a certain level of civility because we're basically all friends here. So if you're posting just like a lot of my content is stuff that I'm posting because I feel like all of my subscribers are friends, So I post like vlogs, like stuff that people on the wider internet, they don't care, they don't care. But my friends, they care because they're my friends.
Right.
But when you are posting reviews, and this is, again, partly why I really wanted to talk with you about this, Alana. I know you post a lot of reviews, and when a review takes off, that's when you notice. You start getting people from outside of the Booktube sphere, just people on YouTube who discover your book review, don't know you,
Yeah.
and they decide based on the color of your skin, the fact that you mention God, the fact that you mention you're conservative, like they might just judge you, and their comment shows that judgment that they
Right. And so on both
discredit
ends. If you could be left, you know me, I consider myself apolitical,
you. Mhm.
but it doesn't matter. People are going to take what you're saying. This one-time person is going to take what you say and misconstrue it. Like I got called far right on my Sally Rooney review. This makes me laugh. This comment said, LMFAO, you don't like it because you're far right. My guy, did you watch the review? I said, I'm apolitical. I don't know if I said it in this. I know I said it in my Ducks Newbury report. I said left wing, right wing. It's the same, but I consider myself apolitical. I think they're both shady as far as American politics goes. I can only vouch for American politics. But also, so Sally Rooney blatantly has said that she upholds Marxist beliefs. That is her frame of work. That's what you can see it in her work.
Yeah.
I have actually studied Marx in school. I do have a sociology degree. Marxism is on the very far end of one spectrum. How does me saying I'm not a Marxist, and I also called out capitalism, saying that capitalism does have a lot to answer for, but how does me saying I'm not a Marxist and critiquing her point of view, because this is the point of view that she's projecting onto this work, mean I'm far right? We live in a world in these comments where people, if you're not this, you're automatically all the way over here. That comment, I ended up hiding that comment because I was like, this person isn't worth engaging with because they've already made up their mind.
Mm-hmm.
But people just, yeah, like you said, if you have a faith, if you believe in God, if you believe over here, if you believe this over here, that's all they take and they run with it. And they think that they know you as a person. Never mind the fact that what we're showing on the internet, whether that be you through your vlogs or me through my reviews, is only a microcosm of us as a human being.
Yeah. Yeah. People kind of will put you in a box based on one comment that you make without really knowing you.
Exactly. Do you mind if there are some good comments here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lou says, yeah, Lou. First of all, she used the word loquacious. Good.
We like that.
Yeah. That's a really good, yeah, I agree. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah.
And then Jess has a good comment too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, can I spin off this real quick?
Yes.
Jess makes an excellent point. I will also just stop watching. Exactly. This is what is so funny to me about hate, these negative comments in the view. You're still helping us in the algorithm. Anytime you comment, anytime you watch, you're pushing it in the algorithm. They think that they are somehow negatively impacting the content, but no, it's all engagement. If you don't, I believe in social currency. If you don't like somebody's content, don't watch it. The best thing you can do is nothing them. Because if you're monetized and you leave a comment, if that creator is monetized rather, and you leave a comment and you engage in any way, you're paying that person. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes.
So, the best thing to do is to nothing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody necessarily realizes that.
Yes, thumbs down. Matt makes an excellent point. Thumbs down still boosts. It's all engagement. All of it is engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's somebody's content I don't like. I just quietly exit.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bookish is here. What's up?
Hi. Victoria, hi. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So, okay. I tracked down a couple thoughts on what maybe defines a hate comment. So let me put them in a banner here. So this was just, I don't even remember where I found this, but I thought it was an interesting definition. Hate speech refers, I just Googled hate speech. What is the definition of hate speech? Hate speech refers to offensive discourse targeting a group or an individual based on inherent characteristics such as race, religion, or gender that may threaten social peace. And I think that's pretty accurate because, like you said, as a creator, you have to, I know Brian from Bookish does.
Smiling, Brian, yeah.
Yeah. Brian from Bookish has like great conversations on his channel
Yes.
all the time. And I feel like he has a really thick skin. He's able to, and maybe because he's a teacher. I think teachers make the best booktubers, honestly. But a lot of times when I'm seeing creators, like sometimes creators will respond to hate comments with videos.
Yeah.
I can't remember who this was, but it was somebody who's big on the Victober scene.
Mhm.
They did a video where they were like singing their hate comments, you know, and a lot of them were about her being a woman and her appearance as a woman. You know, you need to do something with your hair and, you know, stuff like that. And
Wow.
yeah, or
Right, but it's just,
yeah, I just, a lot of times, how do you feel about comments on your appearance?
I haven't gotten any.
Good.
I've had one person critique in a very patronizing and condescending way. I do mess with my hair a lot. It's a bit of a tick. I don't even realize I'm part of it is because sensory, whatever.
Mhm.
But the way that they said it was so condescending that I was like, laugh out loud, I agree with you. Yeah, fine, but also I have content where you don't even have to look at it. Put your headphones in and walk away. You don't even have to watch it. It's really for listening. But it's I haven't gotten any comments that are negative about my appearance.
Good.
It's coming. It'll probably come, but that probably doesn't bother me.
So if you get comments,
huh? Yeah, I mean, like we've all been picked on as children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably nothing you can say to me about my appearance I haven't heard.
True. That's a lesson you can learn early.
Have you gotten comments on you? I know you have. You screen capped some that were real creepy.
Yeah, I've gotten some. That's probably most. So for me as a person with social anxiety also, and I'm a pretty sensitive person, but I always try to view it as, like you're saying, this is a person giving me their perspective. Even if it's a critical comment, I try to, especially if it's from somebody who's like a more regular commenter, that's something that I appreciate, that people will leave those.
Yeah.
Like you said, if it's somebody that I don't know, sometimes there have been comments that were extremely critical of me as a person, various things about me. And then there are comments that just make me uncomfortable, even if they're compliments, like,
some of those, and they were weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have one on my phone that was an example, and we'll talk about how we respond to comments too. Because Matt mentioned freedom of speech earlier, and I really want to talk about that as well, because that plays into this discussion. So
left too, or to the right too.
Oh yeah. So we can keep going down. Yeah, we're glad you're here, Brian. This is like something you can really contribute to. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yes, Penny. Yes.
They do, especially if they don't have a photo of themselves as their, what we call it, the profile picture or the icon or whatever. I don't know if you've noticed this, Christy, but the most negative comments come from somebody who you cannot identify as that person. There's no photo. Or if it is a photo, it's a graphic, that's not them. They almost never review. Well, I've never currently seen a negative comment with the person's actual face showing. It is so easy. The anonymity of the internet makes it so easy for people to be vitriolic, because who is this person? You can hide behind the keyboard.
Exactly. Keyboard warrior is the word.
Oh yeah. This is a really good comment.
Yes. Exactly. I know sometimes people just get really emotional, I think, and they're not necessarily thinking logically about this. Like,
yeah,
or they feel like judged if they really love the book and then a reviewer doesn't.
Yeah.
That's another lesson though that you learn pretty on in school.
I've gotten negative comments with YouTube channels with profile pics.
What was that?
Oh, yeah. Somebody's yeah, that's crazy to me. Like the audacity, like I can go find you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're extra bold, exactly. The audacity. Yes, that's a good point, Katie. Book reviews are hard because we all bring our own life experiences to the books we read. That's true.
Yep.
And that is something that I try to, it's hard. I don't think we can ever separate ourselves from the books that we read and the perspectives that we have on them. Because one thing I try to do more and more, the more I read books, is try to see what did this author intend.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still hard because we all have our own life experiences and we have ways that we interpret or maybe would think about how we would discuss different things that the author is bringing to light. And so I think what Katie's comment is so great is because I think that's why people get so defensive when you don't like something that they like.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I wouldn't consider this a negative review. It was constructive criticism / have you thought of it this way, which to me is not a negative or a hate review. It's just somebody sharing their points of view, which that's fine. So this person on my Conversations with Friends review by Sally Rooney, I highly critiqued the main character. I'm sorry. I don't think the book is well written on top of that, but that's another conversation. You can watch my review. The person said that they disagreed with me because they related to the main character as an autistic person. They saw some similar traits in the main character. I'm not going to take that away from you. Like, that's valid. Granted, autism is on a spectrum. What this person relates to, another person on a spectrum may not relate to. So again, that Katie's point is so spot on because people read themselves into books sometimes. And so when you attack that, it's almost like you're attacking them as a human being. It's almost
Exactly.
Thank you, Katie. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Agree about the capital letter counts. Yes. For their picture is just a letter, yeah. Exactly. Yes. Okay. There was one more. So the United Nations has addressed the issue of what defines hate speech. So the UN Strategy and Plan of Action on Hate Speech defines hate speech as this. Let me post it.
I'm sorry, Matt, it's funny.
Oh, is there another comment?
Matt, for the win.
Yes. I know, right?
Yes, I've gotten those too, Brian. It's almost like how dare you? Who do you think you are to critique this, you peasant?
Oh, I know. Yeah, my friend Jenny has commented that it's a lot of times when she makes a negative comment about a classic, she'll get so many people like dogpiling on that. You know, people can have different opinions, even about classics. Not everybody's going to love every classic.
Opinions, or people think their opinions are fact. Like, I know my opinions are fact. I am very strong about my opinions. I believe what I'm talking about, but it's my opinion. It's your opinion, you know? Oh man. Oh, Colin Hoover, I refuse to read. And people forget that we can be strong in our opinions, but agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But once you start attacking the creator as a person, something is wrong with you. Like, I really believe something is wrong with people like that. I follow and listen to creators in the book sphere and other sphere who have completely different beliefs than I do, but I like hearing why they think the way that they do, even if I would still disagree with them after they explain. but I like hearing why people's brains work the way that they do, how their life experiences help them to think the way they do. A lot of it has to do with culture.
Mhm.
What part of the world are you from? How are you raised? That makes a huge difference. You know, me as an American on the East Coast, I'm going to think differently than you as an American on the West Coast. You know, we're going to think differently about than somebody who's in the UK.
Yep.
Somebody in a Nordic country. I got a comment. I mean, I'm very blatant on the fact that I do not care for Marxism. I don't know why that gets people in a tizzy. I have somebody, Nordic commenter. This is like the one negative comment I've ever gotten on Instagram. I don't really get negative comments on Instagram. This person was from a country that is heavily socialist,
Mm.
in a country where they're more socialist. I'll put it that way. Just when a lot of state care, like health care, is universal. This is universal, and that tends to be left. But it's in a country where it kind of works a little bit more. But I think it's because that country has a background that was more tribal. So the culture kind of work. You know what I mean? It works for those countries. In some of those Nordic countries where they have a lot more. I would believe this is a detour. Is it a detour? I don't know. Where there's emphasis on the individual, whatever. I think
It's interesting that that's the topic you usually get like really negative comments about.
Right. She was like, "Oh, you're an American," because first of all, lady, yes. Why does that trigger you?
Okay. I feel like there are plenty of American Marxists, so
There are plenty of Americans who believe that we should have larger government, and there are plenty of Americans who think we should have smaller government. It doesn't matter. Your opinion is your opinion, and there's a reason why you believe that. Why would I hate you for that?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm apolitical. I think it's all screwy.
I know. Yeah, it seems like there's a reason why at family gatherings people don't talk about politics and religion, because people just can't divorce it from their feelings, it seems. I mean, maybe some people can, but the majority of people can't seem to
agree to disagree.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That went to the left. I'm sorry. No pun intended.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It doesn't invalidate what you believe if somebody has a different thought.
Right. And I think if you're truly confident in what you believe, no one's really going to faze you.
Right.
Maybe that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying you can be passionate about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I will say overwhelmingly, I don't know, maybe Brian and other Booktube creators can say this. I think overwhelmingly the comments are positive.
Yay.
That's great. For me, I will say that they are positive.
For me too. Yeah.
When you get that one weirdo, you're like, you know, and you keep it, you're like, really? Where did you come from?
I know. Honestly, I get them very, very rarely. And I think, like I said, it's probably because the content that I post is usually not getting to like the larger. It's like if there's a video that I have that has like 2,000 views, you know, I might get 50 comments on it, and like 2 of them or 3 of them would be like negative.
I love this comment right here. Now voyaging. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Exactly.
Advice for hate comments in real life. I think we're going to talk about how we handle them. 99% positive on my channel. Brian, I agree. I think overwhelmingly it's positive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will talk about this.
Well, yeah.
I think this is true, Matt, because when people sometimes are speaking really loudly, it's because they're having anxiety, you know, about what they're believing, and maybe they don't feel confident enough to explain it.
Right.
I think that's something we talk about a lot in my job, because it is a very people-heavy job. You just have to realize once people feel heard, a lot of times they will calm down emotionally enough that you can have a conversation with them.
Right. That's a really good comment, Jess.
Yep. Yep. This is an interesting question.
I have. You know, you can't be surprised, Christy. You know I have. I don't know if I will, though, but I definitely have.
It's interesting because on certain platforms, I feel like this is a whole genre, and I think it is a whole genre on YouTube as well. But like on TikToks, you can respond to comments with TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok, but I've watched those videos.
Yeah. So I think TikTokers do this quite a lot when they get a negative comment.
YouTube people do it too. Those are so entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. So let's see. So this definition was pretty similar to the last one, but I wanted to share it. It's a little bit more in depth. Any kind of communication in speech, writing, or behavior that attacks or uses pejorative or discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group on the basis of who they are. In other words, based on their... Hang on, there's a little more.
It's making my day.
The comments are?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh God. Based on their religion, ethnicity, nationality, race, color, descent, gender, or other identity factors.
I can't say I've been attacked personally about like the color of my skin. Again, I don't make statements about politics about what side I'm on, because I think both parties can get wrecked. But you know, I have, yeah, it's nationality. No, but I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, I think so. The times when I have actually been attacked for my skin color.
Comments, man.
Oh yeah.
My nerves, but I do agree with that statement. Facts don't care about your feelings.
The wise philosopher.
Oh,
yeah, it's some that
we were talking about him the other day, weren't we, Christy?
Yeah, we were. He comes up with everybody that I talk to. He's kind of one of those loud
tastes.
Oh, interesting. About banned or challenged books to yourself.
I have learned the hard way to keep my opinions about them.
Yes.
I can't wait to actually. For me, those are the books that I think I can't wait to talk about. Oh wait, I guess it depends. Is it a banned classic? Or classic? I think it depends. Like, is it a book that's currently being discussed and whether or not it should be in school systems, which is not a conversation I want to get into today, or is it like books like Gone with the Wind or To Kill a Mockingbird? These classics, right? Because Gone with the Wind, I'm going to read that book and I'm going to review it one day, not in 2024. You know, that book has a reputation. But I was a history major and I spent a lot of time studying the Civil War, and that was a book/movie that we discussed because it has historical relevance. You don't have to like it, but it does have a story. There's a conversation to be had there historically. And people get so offended. People get so offended when you want to read certain books.
Yeah.
I actually got a comment in my DMs on Instagram when I mentioned me wanting to someday read, not wanting to, I will read Gone with the Wind one day. And someone was like, I can't believe you would want to read that. And I was like, is it because I'm not white?
What does that mean? Yeah.
You think that, how dare you have the audacity to assume that I would be offended by that? I was a history major. I'm going to read it for historical relevance. Because there is a conversation to be had there.
I feel like we underestimate humans'
ability to read the book.
Yeah.
The book. What am I talking about? You see, I'm not. But for me, it's because I know the background. Because it was something that we talked about at the university level. So there's an interesting conversation to be had there, but I'm not reading it for pleasure. But for somebody to assume, how dare you want to read that? Because I'm like, what are you assuming here? Say it to my face.
Victoria, I'm sorry. That's so.
Victoria, man, don't make me come in your comments, because I'll clap back at these people. Because I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Classic Tube can get
Can we
stuff.
go back to Victoria's comment?
What?
That's an excellent point that she says about people telling you that you don't get it or that you're not smart enough to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Gone with the Wind. That book gets people. I refuse to make any comments about it. I can't wait for your Gone with the Wind review. Yeah, Gone with the Wind is one of those books that if you
It's interesting. I was just listening to an account of a North Korean defector who he read Gone with the Wind in North Korea and he drew so much value out of reading it. And it was just interesting. It was like, I feel like sometimes as humans, and this is why books get banned sometimes, we underestimate the kind of value that you get from reading a book that isn't perfect. I mean, books aren't perfect. So, but this North Korean was like really intrigued about America and he was, told a certain thing about America. And then he learned, oh, they had a civil war too, just like
interesting what he pulled out versus what us as an American would pull out, as Americans would pull out. There is a lady I like to use. She doesn't run her YouTube channel anymore. I forget her name. She was Danish. And she loved Gone with the Wind. But what she focused on was the characters and their personality traits versus what the social, political relevance of it would that we would maybe pick out as an American. So again, when we tell people what they should or should not be reading, why you should or shouldn't like it, we're projecting on them. We don't know, like the famous quote goes, no two people ever read the same book. And we assume that people are reading the books for the same reason that we're reading them. And so we're expecting them to speak on them the way we would speak on them. And so if you don't do that, then they come at you occasionally.
I feel like we should have a discussion on banned books and banning books as well. I feel like that could be another great live stream.
If you want to just, I'll put my 2 cents in and we can elaborate later in another video.
Yeah.
I am all for freedom of speech. I do believe that there is certain content that is age sensitive, but overall, like, I think once you start banning stuff, it's a slippery slope. Like, would I want my 2-year-old, my 5-year-old reading, maybe not 5, you're not reading at that level yet. Would I want my 10-year-old reading Lolita? Absolutely not. That would scar the poor child, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But should it be banned? I don't think so.
So I feel like you mentioned freedom of speech. I feel like this is the next direction we should go. Okay. Is it a concern of freedom of speech?
Gone in the Wind in July. Do tell.
Ooh. Nice. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming. It's great to see you. Hear you, hang out with you. So, is it a concern of free speech if you block people?
I have this debate with myself all the time.
I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments as well.
I almost never block. I have blocked some recently. I've gone back and was like, what do I do with this comment? It's just sitting here. I have, but very rarely. Is blocking a comment freedom of speech? Well, they were able to post the comment. You were able to post the comment. But me as the creator, I can choose if I want it to live there.
Yeah.
So I think in this case, a freedom of speech concern would be you're not allowed to post it at all. Versus I'm going back on my content that is free for the watcher. And you can say whatever you want to say and talk to me in a kind of way. No, I don't think so. It's not the environment that I want to engage in. But so I don't think it's a freedom of speech concern. Now, it would be a freedom of speech concern, I think, if somebody posts a comment and then YouTube deletes it before I ever have the chance to say, no, this is a valuable comment. I should be able to see. There was actually a comment that I saw on it was my Milkman review by Anna Burns. It was a comment that I agree with that, Jess. I think deplatforming is different. There was a comment I wasn't even able to address because it just disappeared. And I'm like, what happened to the comment? It was a real but can I get the chance to see
That's
if
happening too
or not?
Yeah.
Like, I think the YouTube overlords took it away.
There was a whole thing. I forget what channel it was, but it was a great channel. They reviewed Ice Planet Barbarians, I think it's called. It's like a romance book.
Okay.
It's like a hardcore romance book. And because the word barbarians is used in the title, a lot of the comments mention the title of the book, and YouTube deleted all of the comments that had the word barbarian in it.
Yeah, that's no.
And so everybody's comment on this review got deleted, and it was like
Something must have triggered something in the algorithm.
it was the word barbarian.
And
that
that's why
was
we have issues with what YouTube will do. It's like YouTube is, see ya, Brian. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Fantasy football. You know what? You're right. I forgot. Today is also the start of college football. I got to check what my university is playing later.
That's where we're going in about 20 minutes.
I can't believe we're in football season already, but okay. But, yeah. Oh, good point. I think your comment section is like your front yard. Jess is coming with the bangers. But what was I saying? I got distracted by football.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. We were talking about the barbarian comment.
Oh yeah, I know. That's where I have an issue with YouTube, because it's like their algorithm is picking up on certain words and then just deleting things where context is important.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
We can't canceling it all either. I think it's a slippery slope.
So I really like what people are saying in the comments. It makes me feel a little bit better, because for me, free speech is you can get your own channel and put your own thoughts out there.
Yes.
But if you're commenting on my channel, I also have a right to peace of mind. You know, if it's really bothering me, the thing about YouTube comments too that I have trouble with is, unless I respond to the comment, it'll just sit there in my comments. So every time I finish responding to comments,
even if you like it, it won't go away unless you comment, which I don't like.
Or love it, or heart it. And it's like, I don't want to heart it.
You have to comment for it to go away. Comment or love it, I think, for it to go away. But if you just like it or dislike it, it lives there. And you're like, YouTube, I engaged. Throw it away.
Exactly. So that's why I have blocked a lot of people, honestly, because I didn't just want their comment hanging out there. And I felt kind of bad. It's like, and even if it's not necessarily a hate comment, sometimes I will have blocked it just because I don't want it hanging out there, because every time I see it, it's causing me anxiety.
Yeah, there are some that I've gone back and I've later hidden the comment, because I'm like, I got one comment that said myself and Anna Burns, never mind the fact that Anna Burns is, I believe, from Northern Ireland, were disrespectful to the Northern Irish. And I'm like, because he didn't like his parents, didn't explain why he didn't like this review, he or she, I'm not sure. Even though I'm like, Anna Burns is also speaking from personal experience. So you're just a hater.
Yeah.
Get off my line. I was like, how am I being disrespectful to the Northern Irish?
I know. Certain comments really make you think about it, in a way that you're just, I don't know. For me, I end up really questioning myself sometimes whether I should have even posted. I don't know.
Yeah.
So if something's also, even if a commenter, even if it's a regular commenter and some of their comments are nice, if a lot of their comments cause me anxiety, I end up blocking them, because it's just for my peace of mind. I don't know if it hides them from the channel. I hope not. I kind of want, comments to still be there so people can interact with them. But sometimes I'll just block somebody just, again, for peace of mind. And it's nothing personal. It's just,
it's not even about them at that point. You got to do what you got to do, because of all the things that are going on in the world, people being ridiculous is just not at the top of my priority list. Yeah.
I think with certain videos, you're kind of prepared. And if a video goes viral and I get not viral, if a video goes big and I get a ton of comments, just a slew of comments, I might not get to respond to all of them anyways, and they'll get buried, and then I don't worry about it. So I feel like a lot of times with reviews, sometimes that happens to where I don't even have to respond to negative comments or comments that I've gotten comments that attacked me. So this is when I've been actually attacked on my person, is I posted a review. I posted videos about Dostoevsky after the Russians invaded Ukraine,
Yeah.
and I got one person that was really mad about that I was posting anything positive about.
You know, that, yeah, I've gotten a comment about it was after that happened, or in the midst of this happening, because I reviewed War and Peace, and I got a comment. Of course, there was no photo of this person, just how dare I read. I think I deleted this comment actually because it was just so ridiculous. I actually laughed and was like, goodbye. How dare I read a Russian author? This man is DED. Like, he been dead, my girl. Like, for real? Like, really? You're like there were people who were telling you shouldn't listen to the Nutcracker. You shouldn't listen to Swan Lake right now. Tchaikovsky is dead. Okay? Yeah. He's dead. Hop off my line. Like, it blows my mind that people do that. I'm sorry, I got a little heated.
No, yeah, that's fine. We like heated here. We like opinions here.
But yeah, people were attacking you because you read Dostoevsky.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, did I cut you off? I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm just like, oh, we have lots of comments. I should respond to them. Thank you. That's really nice. I know when I posted the video introducing this live stream, I got at least 3 people being like, people are attacking Alana? Why? 4 people, I think. I just got another really long comment today being like, man, why would you attack Alana? I guess, yeah, he was like going into theories of why, because he clearly couldn't understand it himself, you know? So, yeah.
I know why. Because I'm not shy about stuff. And so I think
that's what he said.
I think that's probably what it is. When I don't like something, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna let you know I don't like this, and this is why. I'm gonna back it up with receipts. This is my opinion. And
with receipts.
We live in a, and I'm just a blunt person. I'm gonna call a spade. And we live in a world where people nowadays need to be handled with kitten paws. I'm not that person. If you don't like it, click out. But on my channel, I'm going to be for real. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and like a book because the New York Times said it was great. Well, the New York Times isn't always right. I don't care. You know what I mean? So I'm blunt, and that bothers people, especially this day and age where people are all about people's feelings. So
yeah.
I don't like
Yeah, exactly. I think in our world, it's like people really do want to protect people's feelings, but in the real world, I don't know. Your feelings are just gonna get hurt sometimes because that's life.
Right. Go outside and touch grass.
Yeah.
Because that's not the real world.
My message to Alana is don't change. That's what the commenter said.
Oh, I appreciate it. I have to go and see. I didn't see that comment. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was like later, I think.
No, I don't plan on it. It's too late.
It's too late.
I've been this way since I was a child.
Nice.
It's been tempered though.
What?
This is me filtered. It's been tempered.
Thanks for watching. Nice. Yeah, I know. I try to, my therapist has told me this too. It's really good practice for you to be able to respond, thank you for leaving your perspective or something like that, because that's the kind of response that you can train yourself into having. And then that reduces your anxiety as well. And then you can block them if you want.
And they never respond to it. They don't respond to it. And I think that when people leave these comments, sometimes I do think that because, again, there is this distance between you and the screen, this person could be in another country. You don't know. They don't know where I am. You know what I mean? So there is that distance that makes people bold. Is almost they forget that you're a human being.
Yes.
And when that human being responds, they go silent often. It's all very rare that they go back and forth with you. I've never had that happen when I check somebody. Never. Even when I say thank you for your comment, thank you for watching.
Yes.
And even when I clap back, I have clapped back on a couple, I don't get a response because I come with the receipts.
Yes. Right.
And I think they almost think they don't realize, oh, well, this person is for real. Yeah. But that's just me. I guess we'll get into this later about how we choose to respond to them.
Yeah. Well, I feel like part of what makes you so like ideal, I think, as a book reviewer, Alana, is you do not mind arguing because you find it interesting. I mean, you wanted to be an attorney at one point in your life because you don't mind arguing.
Yeah, I did.
So that makes you very, I think, capable of handling things that come your way. But
Yeah.
even you were like, can we please talk about hate comments and how to respond to them? Because
I was
it gets
curious
overwhelming.
because, or I think the reason why I brought it up initially is because I will more often than not engage.
Yeah.
It's rare if I don't engage or
Mhm.
just block or hide the comment. And I know that more other people are like, I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to give this person the time of day. I'm going to either leave them on red or
Mhm.
block it. They
Right.
use silence, but I pick and choose which ones I want to engage with.
Mhm.
And I admit there's a part of me that enjoys it.
That's good.
Like,
I'm
this
glad.
is like I almost get a rush from it. That's I don't know.
I mean,
I like a good debate.
it's turning lemons into lemonade is how I'm viewing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think there's necessarily a bad way to respond,
Mhm.
especially to people who are judging you. Like anytime I review something by somebody who's of a different race than I am, if I make like my 100 years of solitude review, I got a lot of comments about being a woman, being white, not being able to understand it. You shouldn't be posting things if you don't completely understand it. Things like that.
That
It's
gets my
just,
blood up because nobody knows where you're coming from. Like people assume they look at your outward appearance and what you're choosing to post online and assume anything about you. They don't know your background. They don't know. They are assuming. You
yeah.
don't know me. I have people leave me comments all the time, and I don't even. I'm thinking in the back of my mind. You don't know. They're like
Your
you're
expression.
actually attacking something that I've actually experienced. You don't know me. And
Yep,
that's cool.
exactly. Oh, hate watching. Wow.
Oh, yes.
I've heard of hate reading, but I'd never heard of hate
Lovers.
watching.
You hate somebody that much, they're just a lover. Come on. They can't leave you alone. They live in your head rent free. You live in their head rent free. Hate watching is a thing.
That is wild.
Yeah, there are people, and I think you probably see that with the really big YouTube channels in general, where people will
Yeah.
subscribe because they love to hate on that person,
Mhm.
which to me is a waste of time. Like something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
If somebody bothers me that much, I'm not going to engage. Like that's almost like listening to the music of a musician you don't like their music.
Mhm.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Well, and again, if they really want their statements to be out there, the most beneficial thing I think would be create your own channel so you can share these things.
Yeah.
Then you could even do response videos to the videos
Exactly.
you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when it's just text, it's really easy to misunderstand. And sometimes I've also had comments that to me felt extremely critical, but I think the commenter is probably not thinking of it that way, when they leave that comment.
That's why I actually, over time, I've gotten what I don't do is immediately respond to comments. It's very rare that I do that now. I actually wait a week. I only take one day out of the week to sit down and respond to all my YouTube comments because sometimes those comments may need to marinate.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm at the middle of my workday and I'm stressed out and I see a comment and I take it the wrong way because I'm stressed. It is unfair for me to be reactive and to comment back with an energy that that person didn't come to me with. So it's
Yeah.
better for me to use a little bit more discernment, know myself, step back, let myself cool down, and not project on this person. And
Mhm.
sometimes if I do get a comment that's a little spicy,
Yeah.
then I wait that space and time after it makes you respond differently. And so that way you can sometimes be a little bit more neutral about how you're reading the comment.
Mhm. That's so wise. I do that too. I do not have notifications on. I used to have notifications on for studio, but several times I got comments that caused me anxiety like right before bed and then I couldn't sleep or something like that. So I turned off notifications and I just get to comments when I get to them now. I
Yeah.
really appreciate them, but I do have to be in a certain like iron mental space to respond.
You have to be calm. You have to be, because even when you're engaging with really good comments that are detailed, they take, what is happening? They take alfalfa here over here. They take time and consideration.
Yeah.
And you have to be in a good headspace to do it, which is why I like to take a quiet time with my week to answer those comments. Because if you're going to take the time to leave a very thoughtful, well thought out comment, I want to take the time to read it and give that person the time that they gave me.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Oh, that is smart. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. I'm going backwards now because is there anything else that we really want to cover before we end? And then
Do we really talk about how we handle mean comments?
Tell me, how do you handle mean comments?
I typically engage,
Mm.
if the person is flat out wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, well, actually, no, and it's blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll say, thanks for laughing, or thanks for watching, laughing emoji. Like, I will engage, because if you come at me in a way that is just blatantly wrong, I'm letting this person know that on my channel, you cannot roll up on me and talk to me in my comments however you want to talk to me. Not here.
Yes. Not on my front lawn. I love that analogy so much.
Absolutely not, because I think that people get emboldened thinking that you're a punk. Yeah. And I like to show people I'm no punk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just because I'm nice in the video, whatever. No, absolutely not. If you want to come at me like an adult, don't, as my favorite saying goes, don't come for me unless I send for you.
I love that.
I'm going to let people know, not here. Now, there are some comments where I feel like I have to use some discernment, and I feel like I'm learning this more the longer I stay on YouTube, because my channel is still pretty young. It's not even 2 years old yet. I have learned that there are some comments that you just don't engage with. It's best to block it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some comments I will engage, because not on my front lawn, as that great comment said, not here. But that's just me. I think that's partially how I was raised.
Isn't it?
It is a personality thing, so I do admit that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, you said it's like a East Coast, or is it?
We had this conversation a couple weeks ago. It could be a demeanor thing. It could be, I think we were talking about like East Coast, West Coast differences. And what did you say about your West Coast perceptions of the East Coast?
I feel like there are certain perceptions, and there are individuals that are different. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely feel like in California, we tend to be a little bit more laid back about, like, let everybody just be, we're friendly. I don't know. It's, I guess, just a different atmosphere, but it's not like people on the Northeast consider everybody rude around them. You know, it's just like, it's just a difference in it's. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like people aren't real blunt in California.
Again, I think it's funny. I didn't realize that was a thing until people started pointing it out. So that's a thing. That's just to me. Like, but also, like I said, my mother, I kid you not, I have a text from my mother that's only 72 hours old. She was like, Lana, people don't know, man, you're a gangster. But she said it's because your mother and father didn't raise a punk. None of my siblings, you're not. My mom's like, oh no, people don't know. So maybe that's just how I was.
Yeah,
parents didn't raise chumps.
It definitely comes across in your videos. Your personality definitely does.
No.
We love it. We love it.
My sister told me to behave in this video. I guess I'm behaved. I behaved, Christy.
Are you well behaved? You have behaved so well. You've done great.
Spicy.
We honestly, it would be hard not to get spicy in this discussion. So you're doing great.
Insane.
Thank you guys so much for leaving your thoughts here. I will have to go back and finish reading these because you guys left so many great.
I'm lucky my accent can be. I'm lucky that with my accent I can be rude and people don't notice. There are some accents and dialects that just always sound pleasing to the ear.
Yes, that is actually true.
here. Like, to me, I think, is this an American thing? Like, that the English, just UK accents in general,
Yep.
are so charming. And
Yes.
so when I hear them, you could be cursing me out, and I'm like, keep talking. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Oh.
Or like Midwestern accents. They're so cute.
You like Western accents?
Midwestern accent, I think.
Oh, Midwestern. They are. They are.
Mhm. I'm
Yes.
first in Californian of Midwestern parents and families since I see a huge culture. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm English. Okay. Yeah, the English accent now.
Yep.
Very pleasing to the ear. Speaking of my mother, she just texted me.
That being said, I think we're going to head out for today. But
I'm gonna
thank
start
you all
calling
so much.
Jam Master E. Stop. Please do.
Yes.
I can rap too, but I don't like people.
Ooh, that would be fun. Rapping a review sometime would be fun.
Yeah, I know some songs.
There was a channel that did that. They would rap their reviews. They wrote reviews that were like raps. It was great.
When I lived together, I would rap about her life.
Love it. Yes, thank you guys so much for interacting with us.
Watching, putting up with our tomfoolery.
Yes, this was true. I love this.
Southern accents are so good too. They're also true.
Well, I hope you'll join us for our next conversation, whenever that is.
Conversations with friends.
Yes. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks.